So, what do Internet of Things devices have in common with home improvement shows? Well, stick around and I'll tell you. I'm Woody Huffines. I own the Nerds to Go in McKinney and Frisco, Texas, and this is Tech for the Untechnical. So, how are Internet of Things devices similar to home improvement shows? Well, I don't know about your house, but at my house, we're all the time watching home improvement shows. And the home improvement people come in and they find all kind of cool things they can do to the house to rehab it. And they get the plan put together and then they go on to this great home improvement process. And right before the second commercial break, something bad happens. It's a 1930s house and we found asbestos in it. Duh. It's a 1950 house and there are plumbing problems. Yeah, reality TV are kind of a contradiction in terms. You know when you start watching the show that right before the second commercial break, there's going to be a problem with the house that's going to increase cost or make something hard to deal with, or they're going to have to change the thing or leave off the cat door on the glass in the back or something. From my perspective, the Internet of Things devices are pretty much the same. It's like a home improvement project. You think this is going to be great. I'm going to have Amazon Alexas and I'm going to have Ring doorbells and I'm going to have all this stuff. And then you find out, right before the second commercial break, that somebody started hacking the Ring accounts. And here's a video about that. Or you find out that things aren't as secure as you thought they were, or something's a problem, and that's the way it always works with Internet of Things devices. Right before the second commercial break, or after they've been out for some period of time. The newest one is UTEX Ultra Lock. It's sold on Amazon, Home Depot, Walmart. There's a bunch of different places that sell it. And the Tripwire security researchers found that with just the IP address of the lock, they can unlock the lock. Now, we've talked up here, there's a video, about safety and security, comfort and convenience. They're always at odds. And having an internet-enabled door lock was a pretty cool thing, especially for people like in the Airbnb business. If you rent your house to somebody, you could ask them what are the last four digits of their phone number, and they could tell you, and you could set the lock combination to that one code remotely. You didn't have to trade keys or any of that stuff, which is cool, and it's convenient. Turns out it's not secure. Anyway, Tripwire went and looked at these Ultra Locks, and what they found was that with just the IP address, they could actuate the lock or unlock the house. So war driving, people get on your neighborhood, they find out you got that lock, do a little bit of, and it's not trivial. It's not like your next door neighbor is going to do it with their cell phone. It takes a little bit of effort, but if somebody wants to steal your big screen television, it might be worth that effort. So, and it's the same thing. I don't know if you got kids. I mean, every time I'd tell my kids, you messed up, they'd say, no, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Let me show you how you messed up. And then prove it to them that they messed up. And they'd say, well, it wasn't such a big deal. Well, yeah, it is a big deal because of all this that's going on. And then they say, well, but everybody does it. Yeah, I get it. You're still grounded. So when Tripwire talked to ULock, we went through the same thing. It's a security problem. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is a security problem. Look, it's right here. Well, it's not that big a deal. Yeah, that was the second piece. It is that big a deal because it went through the hub. And we talked a little bit about Internet of Things security hubs. If you have a hub, that's one more chain in the security chain to attack. So Tripwire went to ULock and said, man, you got a problem with this? And they said, no, we don't. And Tripwire proved it to them. And they said, it's no big deal. And Tripwire proved to them that it was. And now they supposedly have fixed it. Supposedly, I use that just to tick off a friend of mine. Supposedly, they fixed it. Now, why do we keep finding these problems? Internet security, computer security is hard because there's lots of moving parts, number one. So if you have three components, you've got your wireless network, you've got a hub that talks to the smart device, and the smart device itself. Those are three things in that chain, and all three have to be secure. Probability and statistics tells you that if you've got a number of components, if you want the reliability of the system, you multiply the individual components together. So if it's 95% secure on your router, 95% secure on your hub for your smart devices, and it's 95% secure on the smart hub device itself, that's 0.95 times 0.95 times 0.95, which means that just like that, you're down to 85% security. So the more things that you put in the string, the more likely you are to have a security problem. The second piece is that the people who develop products and sell products, even though they might be really good engineers and really good designers, are not good security people. Those are two very different skill sets. There was a big problem with the WPA encryption algorithm for wireless a long time ago. They used a great hash, used a great encryption algorithm. The engineers that used it just used it wrong because, I mean, for me, for example, you could put me in a whole box full of surgeon tools and I wouldn't know what to do with any of them because it takes a little more skill to use the surgeon tools the way a surgeon needs to use them. Same thing with internet security. So, one, it's complex, and two, the people who are doing it aren't security experts. So let's go back to what we've talked about over and over again. If you're not dead solid certain that you need a functionality in your network, if you're not dead solid certain that you need to have an internet-enabled lock on your front door, for heaven's sakes, don't put it on there. Don't put it on. Balance the risk. This is just the latest in the long string of things where we found out it wasn't as secure as we thought it was. So, just like that home improvement show that about right before the second commercial break, something's going to have a problem and you're going to find out about it while you're already into the project, same thing has been happening over and over again for Internet of Things security. So, think. If you need the functionality, maybe understand the risk and accept it. If you're not really, really certain that you need the functionality of a lock or a garage door opener or some component of physical security for your house, our recommendation is don't put them in because there's going to be a security vulnerability. This is Tech for the Untechnical. I'm Woody Huffines, own the Nerds to Go in Frisco and McKinney. This is helpful to you. Hit the subscribe button, mash the like, share it with your friend. Well, you know the drill. We'll see you again.